I'm kind of, I mean, I can't promise I'm going to play Persona anytime soon. It's a big commitment. But I gotta be honest, like, from what I played, I really did enjoy Persona 3 and 4 way more than 5. But the thing is, like, 5 is a massive game and has, like, way more curbside appeal. So, like, I don't mind giving it a better rating, maybe. Timo, thank you for the prime. Thank you, Timo. But yeah, like... I don't know. Persona 5 felt like... And again, I did not play a lot of it, so take this with a grain of salt. Don't take it as my ultimate opinion or anything. But Persona 5 felt like more of a modern anime school RPG game. Like, it just didn't like have that vibe. It felt like a great game that probably has like an insane amount of content, but it didn't have that like vibe of something that like really does something different and crazy. It just felt like a good game. Persona 3 and 4 hooked me like right away. Like, it social sim or not, the mystery and like the kind of noir feel of it, like, it just grabbed me like right away. Persona 5 did not grab me right away. Persona 5 felt like, oh, if I put 200 hours into this, it'll be good. Persona 3 and 4 were like instantly like interesting to me. Yeah, like I wanted it had that like PS1 RPG feel, where it had like a well-written, interesting story right out the gate. Did not really need to cook much. They all feel so like dialogue heavy, and not in the good way. At least for me. Like, there's definitely a limit to dialogue for me. And Persona definitely toes the line, where I'm like, okay, let's get it going. Like, you know, there's a lot of like banter and just talking, and I like my dialogue to have weight. I'm good with some banter and some like, let's introduce these characters and stuff, but like, yeah, at some point I'm like, okay. let's get it going. I much prefer something like Final Fantasy, where it feels like almost all dialogue has a place. If two characters are like bantering, it's specifically for a reason that's going to be revealed at some point, rather than just getting... Yeah, Persona has a lot of like when you start a new class and they do icebreaker, it's just a bunch of dialogue for the sake of dialogue. Dialogue for the sake of like, now I know these people. It's like, I don't need that. But then there's a lot of just wasted dialogue too, like just a lot of whatever. How do you think Final Fantasy VII will play on Switch 2? Same way it plays on Switch 1? Probably literally the same. couldn't imagine there being a single difference. In fact, the Switch 2 will probably function like a Switch 1 when it's playing games like that. You know what? You know what I think a good comparison is? You can tell me if you agree with me or not. I feel like in Final Fantasy games, you have the direct dialogue with the characters, and then you have world-building dialogue. And the world-building dialogue is the NPCs that you walk up and talk to. So, you know, Rinoa talks to Squall, and Squall is like, whatever. And that's, like, important because later things happen, right? But then you can walk up and talk to some girl in the classroom, and she's like, I like coffee better than tea because coffee is tasty. And, like, that's just dumb dialogue, but, like, you walked up and talked to the NPC, right? Persona is like if all of that world-building nonsense dialogue was part of the main script instead of being NPCs you walk up and talk to. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the difference. Like, Final Fantasy has it, but you have to opt into it. Whereas Persona, it's like, that's the whole game, is like the goofy NPC dialogue. And in Final Fantasy, it's great because, like, if you want to know more about an area or you want to just screw around, then you have the option to walk up and talk to characters. Whereas in games like Persona, you're drugged through it regardless of whether or not you want to listen to it or not. You don't agree? What do you think's a better comparison? A lot of the dialogue is not necessarily like that out of nowhere, but like it's just like banter between the characters, or banter like between characters you never see again. Or characters just being themselves. Like, let's have a whole 20 boxes of dialogue that's just like the annoying character being annoying and then the other characters responding to it. More like a visual novel. I don't know. What is the disconnect between like visual novels and regular novels? Because I can read a regular novel and be entertained the whole time, but visual novels, I feel like so much of the dialogue is throwaway. Is it just bad writing? Because, like, I play visual novels, and there's a lot of, like, coffee is my favorite drink in the morning. But you read, like, a novel, and it's like, that's not the case. Even though there's way more words in a novel. I never feel like I'm wasting my time in a novel, at least a good one. You know? So is it just the quality of the dialogue, I suppose? The quality of the writing? I think visual novels just have a bad rap. Like, I just feel like there's so many bad ones. But even the good ones. There really is a rare It's a rare occurrence to play a visual novel where it feels like you're not wasting your time at all. Something like Ace Attorney or even like the old Telltale games. Somehow they were able to do it. To the moon. Yeah, I would say like the old Telltale games before they were bad, and To the Moon, and I haven't played a lot of Ace Attorney. I haven't played Ace Attorney myself, but I've seen some of it. I would say that's definitely one as well. Then there's like Neon White, which was almost good, but super cringe. I love Neon White, but not the story. The story was alright. The game is amazing. The story is like... But I don't know. Neon White didn't actually feel like I was wasting my time. It just felt like it was mega cringe. Disgaea had a lot of like fluff dialogue where I'm just like, what am I freaking reading? I don't know if it's just the anime ones or what. But I'm not trying to like blame anime, because anime isn't like that. And from what I understand, manga isn't like that either. I feel like if manga has a bunch of throwaway dialogue, it's like funny. You know? Visual novels just tend to go on and on about nothing. And what I would imagine is trying to be like world building, but it's just not. It's just not world building at all. We're grinding a few levels. Not too much, but we obviously need to be above level 18. We're up to 20 now. I think we'll leave and try to save. I don't want to lose too much progress. How's it going, Tim? Yeah, I mean, I'll even go out on a limb and say, like, visual novels kind of gave me a bad interpretation of what anime is. Because I played several visual novels or visual novel type games before watching any anime. And I definitely had a weird interpretation of what anime was before watching it. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, this is way better. This is way more, like, the pace of an anime versus the pace of a visual novel is like night and day. I mean, honestly, I feel like what it comes down to, and I'm sure a lot of you would probably agree, anime has a 30-minute / 60-minute time interval that they need to make exciting and interesting. Visual novels, usually it's the opposite. Usually they're trying to pad out to make a 5-hour story, a 20-hour game. And so they have way more to pad out and goof off and try to make their game seem like it's bigger than it is. Whereas anime is doing the opposite and trying to cram as much exciting stuff into one episode as they can. So I feel like that's probably the biggest reason why there's such a difference. And I really don't think that needs to be the case. We need more, like, short and sweet visual novels. Tell a short story through a visual novel. It could be fire. Oh yeah, I know for sure Ace Attorney's good, but that's the outlier. That doesn't mean they're all good. That means that one's good. What's another good visual novel I've played? Because I know I've played... Honestly, I've played way more... I've played more... good walking sims than visual novels. Walking sims tend to be way better. I feel like walking sims usually go in with like a very specific vision and purpose in mind. And they kind of have to do something special to make it stand out. Yeah, that's why I bring it up, because walking sims are very similar to visual novels. Like, they basically are visual novels. But, you know what I mean? Like, when it comes to visual novels, ones that are created like a walking sim tend to do much better for me than ones that are dialogue boxes. Call them both visual novels if you want, but the ones that are walking sim-esque tend to be way better paced, have way more to say, be more unique, drive home a point, not overstay their welcome, not have like any fluff dialogue. A lot of times with walking sims, it's the less they say, the better. Yeah. They work well as, like, spooky experiences or quiet experiences. Something like What Remains of Edith Finch and stuff. I played a little bit of a Zero Escape game, and I have to say, in all honesty, I was way more invested in the puzzles than I was the story. I definitely found myself like, okay, let's get to the next puzzle. I like the puzzles, but I didn't hate the story. The premise was cool, at least, and interesting. But there was definitely some parts where I was like, okay, I don't wanna... The puzzles are more fun than this. There's definitely a possibility that I just don't look at video games as a book, and some people do. Does that make sense? Like, when I sit down to play a video game, my brain just isn't in the mode of, like, let's read a bunch of text. My brain is in the mode of, like, let's play a video game. So when I get a game that's, like, nothing but text, I'm, like, bored. Whereas if I sit to read a book, then I'm, like, in the mood to read a book. And I'm, like, fine with that. But when I sit to play a video game, my brain's just not in that mode. I just find it weird that like that doesn't extend to like RPGs, because RPGs, I'll read the text all day. But RPGs are usually a lot better paced. And they do a better job of weaving in gameplay. That's probably why one of my biggest gripes with RPGs is when they start slow. If an RPG starts slow, I have a hard time enjoying it. But once I'm in, you know? I mean, I've played a lot of different visual novels. Played a lot of different games in general, so... But I find that if a visual novel is like nothing but text, like it's a straight visual novel, I find that there's usually a lot of fluff dialogue that I'm like trying to skip through to get to the interesting stuff. And if I'm playing a visual novel that has fun gameplay and then visual novel aspects, I'm like skipping through the visual novel to get to the fun gameplay. So it's kind of both ways. I tend to get bored of the visual novel part. Unless it's like super well paced, but that doesn't seem to be the case most of the time. Like 99% of visual novels I play go for a slow-paced, world-building approach. Rage! Thank you very much for the 62. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you had a good weekend. Not only do visual novels have slop, but even the good ones just tend to be really like niche or focus too much on the wrong things. Either characters being themselves for too long, or just straight up fan service, or, you know, the list goes on. It feels so rare that a pure visual novel with a very good pace and like something to say and something to do to shake the system, something like Doki Doki, comes out. Feels like more often than not, it's like you're either into that or you're not, and it's not really something that's going to like extend past its own niche. You may play a visual novel of like an anime you already like, or a visual novel of a subgenre of stuff that you like. You know, a lot of visual novels are like very focused on a niche, like an anime or an anime style or a sport or a lifestyle choice, or like, you know what I mean? Like the 90% of the visual novels I see have a title that's like, you like this thing? You know what I'm saying? You get the where I'm without saying it? You know what I'm saying? You like golf? It's a golf anime style visual novel. You like dragons who are also tax professionals? Anyway. So yeah. It seems very rare that a visual novel actually like tries to hit everyone like Doki Doki. Even Doki Doki has the outward appearance of being that type of game, but then it's not. But that's what makes it cool. But yeah, I don't know. I do admit that I think visual novels just aren't for me in general, so that doesn't help. Yeah, I think Persona 5 really got lucky. Not that it doesn't deserve its success, but I feel like it just hit this really great niche where like anime was at an all-time high. You know, anime was hitting like mainstream like it had never done before. And a turn-based RPG, something that half of the audience was saying, we need more turn-based RPGs, and half the audience was saying turn-based RPGs are dead. And then this turn-based RPG comes out that's like a super banger, mixed with like the style of it, mixed with the crazy amount of advertising they did for it, mixed with the crazy amount of cross things they did with it, like Smash, but also like Joker was freaking everywhere. Joker was in everything. Like, I couldn't play a game without Joker being in it. You're playing freaking God of War and Joker pops in and you're like, what are you doing here, Joker? Like, it was crazy. It was everywhere. I mean, they just kind of hit everything. It was like the perfect storm. It was the perfect storm of everything. And then on top of that, like the Switch and stuff being huge, like it just, everything kind of hit perfectly at once. I don't think if all of that had happened, like if the perfect storm hadn't happened, I think it still would have been a great game, but it wouldn't have hit as big as it did. Would have just been a good RPG for RPG fans, and that would have been like it. But it was the perfect timing. It was the perfect timing. And thank God for that, because now all the companies are like, wait, we can do turn-based games? I don't think Metaphor would have happened if it weren't for Persona 5 being so successful. I don't think a lot of things would have happened if it weren't for Persona 5. Like, it definitely shook stuff up. It's so funny to me how, like, Square just really pooped the bed. They really did. Like, just right when they were like, guys, turn-based, it's over. We got this sick new plan. We're going to be making open world Final Fantasy games. It's going to be sick. And then, like, right when that happens, 15, like, flops, and it's not even necessarily their fault. It was in development hell for, like, 8 years. They finally get it out, and, like, right when they get it out, all these, like, turn-based, like, makes such a huge comeback, and everyone's just laughing at Square. And it's like, you did this to yourself, guys. Man, all this and we're still level 20. And this is like the best grind we can do. I kind of want to try one of the other grinds to see if it's any better, but there's a forced mummy grind somewhere. There's a place in Temple of the Fiends, but we can't do that. People keep saying the Power Peninsula, but like it's not going to be better than this. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anywhere else. I just think no matter what we do, it's not going to be as quick as this. Like, this guy dies super fast. We got to 21 at least. Wonder how much this helps our HP. I can actually see the difference between 21 and 20. 866-5432, 866-5431. So one more extra level 7 cast, which doesn't help because we can't use level 7. And we're up to 330 HP, which I don't remember what we had at level 18. No, we didn't kill Warmech yet. In order to beat Warmech, we're going to have to get a lucky mute. And it's a pretty long walk to him just to hopefully get a lucky mute. So it's not something we're going to want to do till like we're done with everything else. Also, before doing this grind session, he pretty much one-shot us with nuke. Now we should be able to survive at least one nuke, so that should give us 2 turns to hopefully mute him. So that'll be a difference maker. Oh yeah, and he like auto ambushes you, which is a problem. I definitely think we can beat him, but we gotta get lucky. And it's a very long walk to him. And also, he spawns rarely, so... It's like super long walk to him, and then running around in circles forever till he finally appears, and then we still have to get lucky. But the other issue is actually surviving on that bridge until he spawns was hard. So hopefully, that was a good level up. Hopefully with this, with these extra levels, we can survive better. But yeah, the enemies around him were cooking us. So we couldn't even get him to spawn before we had to leave. The one time we got him to spawn was, he was the second fight. I think we only tried it one other time and we got into like 6 or 7 fights and we died to the regular enemies. Terminated. Okay, I would like to attempt the final dungeon again and see how far we get. Because I think, given a little bit of luck, we can maybe do it. Which would be pretty wild with level 21 white mages. But given what I saw before, I think the first two bosses we have a pretty good strat for. And the earth spirits give us a chance to like fully heal. So I think it's very doable. I'm a little worried about chaos. I think there's a cheese for chaos, though. I really wish we got more low-level spells with these level ups, but instead we're getting high-level spells, which we can't even use. Alright. Let's go to Crescent Lake and do some shopping. Holy cow, I have 216,000 gold. So we're gonna be here a minute. We're gonna be here a minute. Because there's no reason not to come in with 99 healing potions. What do you think of the Pixel Remaster version compared to this one? Pixel Remaster is great if you want to just experience Final Fantasy and you don't want to buy an NES. But it's way too different to call it Final Fantasy 1. It's Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remaster, it's not Final Fantasy 1. It's not a definitive way to play Final Fantasy 1 in any way, shape, or form. Just a version of it. But I think it's a much better way to get acquainted with Final Fantasy, because it actually functions correctly and looks good and sounds good. When the Pixel Remasters first came out, I was really frustrated with them. Not necessarily the games themselves, but just the fact that they released in the state they were in frustrated me. And I made a video about it, and it's like my most disliked video ever. I don't even think it's past half, but a lot of people dislike that video because I was like really upset at the game, and the game's not actually that bad. And I think if I could go back and do that video again, I would make it more clear that I do like the game. It's just the overarching circumstances of the game. We had stuff like Mega Man Legacy Collection coming out and like all these great collections, and the Pixel Remasters were just dumbed down, in some cases worse versions of the originals and they were all sold separately for way too much money. No extra content or like behind the scenes or even something as simple as like concept art that you could easily pull from like the Ultimania guides. Like just nothing. Just here's the game with better graphics. Pay us way too much money. And so it was really frustrating. You had stuff like Dragon Quest that had like the better graphics version, but you could also like swap to OG graphics during gameplay. Like awesome stuff like that. And the pixel remasters just felt like such a scam in comparison. But the games themselves are fine. If you've never played a Final Fantasy and you want to like experience Final Fantasy, it's perfectly reasonable to play a pixel remaster. It's just frustrating that they weren't better, because they could have been so much better. But I didn't really do a good job of conveying that point in the video. Okay. Let's see what we can do. We're not going to go up another level, so... Well, maybe with the bosses, but we're just going to run away from everything we can. Was it A or B? B, right? Just going to run away from everything we can, try to save all of our spells. You can't run from these? Or did I just get unlucky? It's so random. Why can't you run away from worms? Alright, well, let's heal back up. They're not that strong, so... I still dream of the perfect Final Fantasy collection, similar to, like, the Kingdom Hearts collection. But, like, even better. Something like the Mega Man collections, where it's like... The OG games, multiple versions, have like a classic mode where it's just straight up the OG game, brokenness and all. And then have like a remix version or director's cut version where they like fix some stuff and just make it a better experience for newer players. Put in more save points, put in, like, fix the code in NES, Final Fantasy, maybe speed stuff up a little bit, have an auto battle, like, all the stuff that they like to throw into new RPGs, put that in the director's cut, but then have the original also there for you to play, and have it be all 6 of the OGs all together. Then you could do something like Final Fantasy, or the Mega Man Legacy Collection, where you have, like, pick a party member from Final Fantasy 1 through 6, create a 4-player party with, like, a character from each Final Fantasy. You can have White Mage from Final Fantasy 1 with Terra and Locke and whoever. And then you go through, like, a little dungeon. Like, there's so many cool things they could do. And you could sell it as a collection, and you could sell it for an absorbent amount of money, because people will probably pay for it. And it would be worth it. But they don't want to do that. They want to outsource it to make it, like, as easy as possible and just touch up the graphics a little bit and call it done. When this is their flagship franchise that literally saved their company and is the only reason why they're still around. and they just make quick Steam ports, update the graphics, call it a day, and everyone's like, this is great. And I don't know, I just, like, I'm not... they're cool. I'm gonna play them soon for Final Fantasy Trophy Quest, but... Am I that crazy for wanting more? Am I that crazy for wanting more out of, like, the franchise that's carried their entire company? If you're gonna outsource the remasters of your most important franchise, can we at least outsource it to, like, Capcom? Because they know how to make a collection. No, it's not that. We just had a bunch of stuff come up. Like, we had... What did we do? Like, we've had, like, 4 different events all happen, like, back to back to back. And then... Yeah. But no. Nope. Final Fantasy Trophy Quest is still right where we left it. It ain't going nowhere. You can still do the command, it's still all there. Plan on getting back to it as soon as I can, but... We had a small amount of time between the last big event and this, and then Hollow Month. And I had to spend most of it doing Liza P. Because I wanted to stay competitive, and then also we had some regular Trophy Quest stuff that we wanted to finish. And someone requested that I do their game. So, like, yeah, it's just a lot of other things to get to first. But it ain't going anywhere. Yeah, I think, regardless of the quality of the pixel remasters, I think doing the trophies is going to be really fun because they're pretty straightforward and we'll be able to just kind of like blast through all the games back to back. And that sounds pretty fun, especially after playing them already for Fantathon. Should be pretty fun to blast through him again. I'll probably still read the story. Ooh. I'll probably still read the stories, but like quicker, or like just kind of quickly. This isn't good. Quickly highlight them. Oh no. Are we really gonna die here? Like, I don't think I can fight these. Probably have a ton of HP too. That did a lot of damage. We have to just try to run. Yeah. I didn't know you couldn't run from them. Or at least it seems like you couldn't run from them. Now I know. Bro, the 1000 jumps is the worst part of the Final Fantasy IX Platinum, but even if it wasn't there, it would be like the worst Platinum of all time. The jump rope trophy is only the icing on the cake. That whole Platinum is abysmal. Okay, well. They're back. Try this. Would be great if I could confuse one or two. Yeah, as I've done Trophy Quest, there have been several... Nice. There have been several games that I'm like, here's this big problem with this trophy list. And pretty much every big problem I could come up with is in Final Fantasy IX. Like, oh, this trophy quest is great, but there's this one really grindy trophy, Final Fantasy IX. Oh, this trophy quest is great, but there's one bronze trophy that's super hard for no reason, jump rope. Oh, this trophy quest is really great, but there's this one trophy that's like RNG nonsense, the freaking guess the guy game. Or the ring you have to dig up, like just everything you could imagine. Oh, this trophy quest is great, but I hate having to play through the game more than once when it's a longer game. Like everything you could think of, it's in it. Every bad trophy you could imagine, it exists in Final Fantasy IX. All in one package. I genuinely don't understand what Square Enix is ever thinking when they make trophy lists. And they're so different in every game that I'm convinced it's like some janitor that they're just like, hey, come up with the trophy list real quick. I've heard from an inside source that for most companies, the trophy list is so far down their priority list that, like, genuinely it's the meeting before everything gets finalized where they're just like, come up with some trophies. Like, if you know how video game creation works, like, there's always a hierarchy of what matters, and that determines, like, how much time gets put into it and what people get put on it and stuff. And, like, the trophies are so far down that list that half the time it's, oh crap, we have to give something to Sony, like, now. You know, it's funny because it is something that you have to do to release a game on PlayStation. You can't not have a list, but it's still so far down the priority list. And I don't understand it. I've never understood it. Trophies are not important, but there's many things in game creation that aren't important, but matter to enough people to where it should be thought about. And I genuinely think trophies are one of those things. I think there's a big enough group, like the trophy community is big enough to where you should at least put a small amount of dev time into it just to appease them, because they're big enough. I feel like the money is there. There are people that buy games just because of the trophies. They do exist. So I don't know, it's weird. Like, to me, it's probably not on the same level, but it's somewhere similar to, like, having a New Game Plus in your game. The casual audience isn't going to care much about New Game Plus. They're going to play the game once through, if that. They may quit before they even beat it. So New Game Plus is not something you absolutely have to sell the game. A lot of people aren't even going to experience it. But most games have a New Game Plus at this point because there's a huge majority, like a huge group of people that enjoy that, enough so that it actually affects the quality of the game and the review scores of the game. And I feel like trophies are not to that level, but somewhere close. There's somewhere in the spectrum of like, there's enough people that care about this to where we should probably care about this. Please die. Oh my god, dude. What is going on with these poison dragons? Why are they so strong? And I didn't even fight a single one on my first playthrough of this. My first run through. Now I've got them twice in a row.